also known as DuduBloom More. I'm a Joburg-based artist. My work is mostly about my mental health, discovering, what makes me feel good and what doesn't. I was in a very depressed period. Something just made me draw, and from that day I knew what I was supposed to be doing, which is being an artist. Sharing my work is sharing my vulnerability. In my older works, that's what it was mostly about, like my anxiety and how I've had to look within myself and how the world has affected me. But again, with this pursuit of joy, it doesn't mean I'm no longer anxious, but the past has taught me to choose the things that make me feel better. My process is very play-based. I found myself drawn to thread. I love the texture of it. I love the feeling of it. I'm drawn to sensory things. Over time, it has grown into wool and other types of thread. And I think the idea of thread is like quite a linear thing, or like a story. At some point, you have to cut the thread, so your story changes. You have this thread in your hands and you can change it however you want. Going back to the idea of my anxiety now, changing that narrative of it. Like, now my path is to go on the pursuit of joy. People have commented that my work is pretty, which is fine to me because prettiness, I think, is important. It does, touch on the element of joy. It being abstract is also important. The prettiness and the abstractness is important because also me being a Black girl creating these abstract works is a different perspective. I feel like the Black community is starting to enter the art world and starting to really engage with works, which is really exciting. But most of the works that we're engaging with are figurative works. And I think we as a Black people, we are allowed to view things differently, express in different ways, experience different things, and just expose ourselves to what we're not used to. Having more artists, especially Black artists, who do create abstract works is important because then we see ourselves outside of just our bodies. It becomes more emotional and becomes more spiritual. You are able to see yourself outside of yourself and connect in different ways, which is not necessarily obvious. It transcends what you see physically. It's in the mind and in your heart and in your spirit. The feedback I get from different artists, and especially Black artists, it has taken some time for others to understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do and how people experience my work, which is fine to me. I'm glad that people do enjoy it, and I think that's definitely a first step because then they are able to engage with it. Then they, want to engage with it. Okay, this is nice, or this is interesting. Why is it interesting? And then, my story comes into play. I think my work is important because it's bigger than just me as me being a Black woman. It's actually what I am as a human being completely. Also, it being beyond the physical doesn't take away that I am a Black woman artist. It doesn't take that away. Everything I create has been influenced by me being a Black woman and being a Black child and being a Black girl and, to this point where I'm at now. But me being a Black woman, what it means within me is bigger than just being in this physical body. Yeah.